Well, how are you guys going to cope without him?
Pretty easily, I reckon. Pretty easily.
We'll see.
Oh,
Don't think it'll be hard.
I'm taking his place.
Yeah.
Welcome to Born to Watch, where three old mates, an ex-video shop owner, an industry insider, and a black belt in 80s kung fu movies put their mastery to the test on movies that changed the world.
Hi there, fellow watchers. It's that time of the week again, and we are live from the panic room for my favourite time of the week, Born to Watch. After last week's Whitey and team, or Matt and team, we're reverting back to Born to Watch. It caused a bit of friction within the trio last week, so we're moving on. I enjoyed it while it lasted. My name is Whitey, and I'm the host. And with me, live, we've got a trio in the studio. Is my loyal number two, never leaves. Gow, how are you, mate?
Really good. Ready to be back for another exciting episode. Avatar this week.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, no Morgs this week. He's off out in the field doing his thing.
He's editor at large. He's in the field trying to drum up some stories and maybe bring some interviews back for us.
Isn't he trying to get into the academy over there? Didn't he? Yeah.
That's part of it. He's actually stopping in tomorrow at Graceland.
Yeah.
He's hoping to play the part of Elvis in an upcoming musical.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that, Morgs.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because tonight we've got another special guest back here in the studio.
We do. Look, he was so good 2 weeks ago that we really couldn't help but get him back. Damo Giles, welcome back.
Thanks, back by unpopular demand. And it's good to be here to take the place of Morgs. But for me, yeah, it's been a big week on the land. I've got to do my Morgs bit. So I've had two big things this week that's happened. One, I've been scouting for some local locations. I'm looking to start a Victoria Point branch of the Yoda Club. So I'm looking for a tree that's going to, make it easy to do our Yoda voices.
Yep.
And I'm also looking for something near a dog park, just in case.
That would help.
Get some new members. Well, we can do the initiation ceremony straight away. So that, and my other big thing was I finished reading, and I spent 5 months reading it, Moby Dick.
Saw that.
Wow, 5 months.
It is a really difficult book to read, and I'll just give you a couple of things.
Please.
Think Jack Sparrow, who talks like Shakespeare. Combine that with Rex Hunt's fishing. Combine that with science textbooks, and then combine that with Godzilla. That's the book.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Quite eclectic.
Oh, man, it's
But
difficult.
a classic.
Considered one of the all-time great works of English literature.
And old Jake in Major League read the cartoon or the comic book so that he could get in the pants of Rene Russo. Quick quaffing. So it's a Born to Watch. It's another Born to Watch alum.
Buddy Jake Taylor, doesn't surprise me.
Ah, mate, he was very good. Bad knees.
He did have the bad news.
Yeah, it was the Mexican girls.
Yeah.
No, but good to have you back, Damo. I mean, an actual triple threat in the studio. Karaoke champion, Summer Bay actor.
Oh, yeah. Extra.
And dancer.
Yeah.
Well,
Triple.
that's true.
That's it.
He's
The big three.
He's the first true triple threat.
Well, I would go as far as say he's got more than that because he's actually well known as a sportsman, Damo. And we played a lot of footy with him, but I don't know if anyone knows, but Australian rugby's had some highlights over the years. George Regan's tackle on Jeff Wilson.
Yep.
We've won a couple of World Cups.
Yep.
But Damo has scored the most famous try in Australian rugby history.
Really?
Yep. The 1996 fourth grade grand final.
Wow.
Took down Sydney Uni of all teams.
Yep.
What a try that was.
Well, I can't quite remember it because it was 11 a.m. in the morning and I was the drunkest man in Australia.
Well, you were. You're on the sidelines there.
Yeah,
It was
I
a
was
good
on the
day.
With
sidelines
Morgs
for that.
too.
Yeah,
With
with
Morgs.
Yeah. Me and Dan, we definitely were we were both in our hats.
Yeah.
Actually, it was very early, 1996, a very early iteration of the hat.
Yep. That was a good day. And
An even better night.
well, awesome night.
Yeah.
But you don't win many grand finals too.
No, that's right.
I think I only won like two in my life, and that was one of them.
Yeah, that was
one
one
in
of
like
the
year
two.
3.
Yep.
So it's good.
Yeah, no, it was a good day.
But yeah, we've our rugby together with Damon, we've had a few travels.
Oh,
and
we've
we've done a lot of stuff together.
done
We've got a lot of
it's-
adventures. Yeah.
It's incredible
travels.
when you think back and see
Yeah.
how much time we spent together. It's scary.
Yeah, no, we've
Yeah,
been,
just
we've been to
us two.
Oberon together. Kiama.
Have you
travelling.
have
I
you
don't- I don't
done this on purpose? Have you?
I
have you-
thought you liked travelling stories without you in them.
Oh no, that's right. I remember you went to Parramatta. You played at Parramatta that time. Yeah. So
Right. Yeah. We don't need to do this, you know. We don't need
Well,
to do
I thought
this.
you liked it. Gal said, yes,
No, what
let's
I was
talk about our
actually
stories.
what I was actually looking forward to was having a week off without any of this shit, travel shit. Because I'm sure when Morgs gets back, he's going to be, enlightening us with his amazing travels on the back of a hog that he's dinking with some bloke. He's on the back.
Oh, like Wes from Mad Max 2 with
Yes,
the
he is.
the arseless chaps.
He's wearing his arseless chaps.
Yeah, he's
the
the
blonde girl.
front. Oh, he's the blonde.
girl.
Yeah.
He's the one at the back. He's the one at the back. Anyway, let's get on track. Look, tonight we're doing a special movie. And special for many reasons. Like, it was a passion project of a Born to Watch favourite director. A movie that quite literally took 20 years to make and took us to a place that nobody could have imagined. Well, of course, apart from James Cameron. We venture into hypersleep, travel to Pandora to experience Avatar, the movie that made 3D movies cool again and immersed us in a world that will shit you out whole if you're not paying attention. The reason we are covering Avatar is because it is re-released at the moment in the cinemas. Avatar 2 is coming in December 14. I took my daughter to see it on Sunday, the first 3D movie she's seen. She is 8. I knew that it hit the mark when I sideways glanced at her and she was reaching at the screen trying to touch stuff on the screen. That was quite a good moment for us.
Yep.
She loved it. She really did. So, and I must say, 4K master, re-release, in 3D, in VMAX. It was pretty epic. It felt exactly the same as it did when I saw it in 2009. It was really, really cool.
you saw it straight away when it came out.
First day.
First day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was right. Well, James Cameron, I'm going to see in, I think, early. I saw it first day. Didn't see it in 3D because I was anti-3D.
What? Right.
And then about 4 days later, I went and saw it in 3D and was like, why the hell didn't I go and see it in 3D?
Yep.
And then I took Luke to see it. Luke was 3, nearly 4. I took him to see Avatar. Yeah.
Well, it was kind of a cartoony sort of thing, lots
Definitely.
of colours.
Isabel was shitting her pants in the movie. She actually said to me, I'm really scared, Dad. And I said, oh, are you okay? She goes, no, but I love it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, no, it was very, very good. Look, does anyone care about Avatar anymore? That's the question. That's one of the questions we're going to answer tonight, I think. It's been 13 years since the original was released. It's a long time between drinks when it comes to a sequel that was booked in very soon after the release of the original movie. In fact, there were 2 movies essentially commissioned straight after Avatar, which has now turned to 4, so there'll be 5 in total.
Well, to be fair, it took him that long to get the first one out. I mean, it was writing it in the 90s and
Yeah.
it came out in 2009.
Yeah, absolutely. In saying that, it topped the box office in the US last week, took 30 million, the re-release,
Oh,
Wow.
right.
and it crushed it. Nothing came close to it. So I think we're going to be, well, I don't think we'll be surprised how well Avatar 2 does. At the end of Avatar, there's some credits, and then there's a 5-minute scene from Avatar 2 where it must be Jake Sully's son is in the water with the whale. And it's that whole scene that you see in the trailer.
Yep.
And
Oh, it's in the trailer. Is
it's
it?
a little bit in the trailer, but there's this whole scene, 5 minutes, where he's communicating with this whale in the water. It's pretty amazing. It's going to be pretty special. I think it'll be December 14. Mark it in your diaries. I think we might do an instant reaction podcast for that if you're up for it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm certainly up for it.
Yeah, we might
Always
be
a hard
done.
one.
I know
Always a hard one to do though,
Morgs will
because
do
we
it.
can't give anything away in the movie. So
Yeah, but we did it for Maverick. We can do it again.
yeah, why not?
We can do it again. We might be able to coax our northern neighbour from Vicky Point if we give him enough time.
That's right.
Look, at this time of the podcast, we usually give ourselves a slap on the back. And I have a little message from someone we haven't heard from for a while. The colour purple.
Oh, right.
Look, she's actually
She loves Morgs.
she does now. Well, this has got a lot to do.
Is it still on between them?
It's all one way street at the moment. It's a one way street.
It's
at the
all
moment.
her.
It's all her. But look,
He's playing hard to get.
he is. It's what he does. But he
Bastard.
did say that
Dirtbag.
he'll be on the Gold Coast shortly, and I might just take him in to meet the purple. Who knows what could happen? Sparks might
Oh,
fly.
Cupid.
Sparks might fly.
Yeah.
But she messaged today, 103. You guys singing "Take a Chance on Me," highlight of my day. Dan's comment, "I'm woke as fuck," made up for him giving it 4.5 stars.
Fair enough.
Then she continues, "Banging app. Can't wait for next week. I'm definitely rewatching Avatar. Also, fuck Dan and his bike riding holiday overseas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A card's on the table now, Morgs.
Not finished.
Oh, jeez.
Another message. And I think I swear as much as you lot. I'm okay with it. I'm guessing we're worried about someone's kids listening. Well, fuck the kids. We love you,
nice,
Purple.
nice work, Perp.
Yeah, we love Purple. She's OG. She's asking for a Born to Watch get-together, which we're going to try and organise something later in the year. Get something here on the Gold Coast.
Oh, like a fan day?
Yeah, like a fan day. Just do a live event. So that's in the works.
Well, that
Stay
could be
tuned.
a big. That could be a big event.
Shit, I'll
A big event.
book a broom closet or something. You know.
It must be. It would want to be a big broom closet.
It'd be huge.
We could
It's
book out
Harry
the
Potter.
panic room. We could book out the whole panic room.
We could have the whole panic room. We'd have to have the air conditioning very low though.
Yeah.
You got a bit of a hum going, Gal.
Please.
Okay, Gal, take it away. Tell us about the movie.
All right. On the lush alien world of Pandora live the Na'vi, being who appear primitive but are highly evolved. Because the planet's environment is poisonous, human Na'vi hybrids, called avatars, must link to human minds to allow for free movement on Pandora. Jake Sully, a paralysed former Marine, becomes mobile again through one such avatar and falls in love with a Na'vi woman. As a bond with her grows, he is drawn into a battle for survival of her world.
That was a good synopsis, Gal. One of the better ones. It hits the mark. We've had a few that have been a little bit off-brand of late, but that's a good one.
I don't tell them what they put on their covers.
Now, I'm telling you what, guys, settle in because we're about to play the trailer, and this is the longest trailer in history, 3.5 minutes. So either bump ahead 7:30s on your podcast app or settle in and
That
listen
was quick maths.
to the adventures, of Jake Sully.
He had to do that beforehand. I'm telling you a tip.
Right.
Wait till he gets his calculator out.
That's scripted. That part was scripted. Anyway, here's the trailer.
You Jake Sully? I'd like to talk to you about a fresh start on a new world. You'd be making a difference.
I became a Marine for the hardship. I told myself I can pass any test a man can pass. All I ever wanted was a single thing worth fighting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are not in Kansas anymore. You are on Pandora.
You should see your faces.
We have an indigenous population called the Na'vi. They are very hard to kill.
This is why we're here. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo. Their village happens to be resting on the richest deposit, and they need to relocate. Those savages are threatening our whole operation. We're on the brink of war, and you're supposed to be finding a diplomatic solution.
The concept is to drive these remotely controlled bodies called avatars. They're grown from human DNA, mixed with DNA of the natives.
Marine in an avatar body. That's a potent mix. You get me what I need, I'll see to it you get your legs back. Your real legs.
Hell yeah, sir.
Looks like you. This is your avatar.
Just relax and let your mind go blank. It shouldn't be hard for you.
Jake, it's real simple. I want you to learn from the inside. I want you to gain their trust.
You should not be here. Go back. All this is your fault.
I need your help. Outstanding.
Haven't gotten lost in the woods, have you? Did you forget what team you're playing for?
Strong, prey on the weak, and nobody does a thing.
You've got 1 hour.
You knew this would happen?
Everything changed. Jake, it's crazy here. Quaritch is rolling and there's no stopping him.
We're going up against gunships with bows and arrows.
Well, I guess we better stop him.
us a message that they can take whatever they want. But we will send them a message that this is our land.
As I said, one of the longest trailers in cinema history. And
It's almost as long as the movie.
Almost. And we may look at shortening some trailers up in the future, as my esteemed colleague has suggested. I'd love to hear what you've got to say on that. Let us know on the social channels, on Instagram or on Facebook. Anyway, let's talk about how this movie rates. And we are on a bit of a roll here with the movies. Not that we really know, what any of this means. But on IMDb, this is a 7.8 out of 10.
That seems low.
I think
compared to some of the 8s we've had.
Yeah, but I and we're going to get to this, but I think that the movie's a technological wonder, but the story ain't.
No, it's not.
Right? So I think just under 8's pretty fair for this.
Damo, you're an industry insider. You must know about the Rotten Tomato ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. As much as Morgs knows.
How many milkshake straws does it take?
Yeah.
Don't blow bubbles, mate. Who's blowing the bubbles?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, but this is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it certified fresh?
Yeah, 82%. You're a fuckwit. And it's also got an 82% audience score. Gow's a little cheeky tonight.
He is.
Gow's a little cheeky tonight. So look, I think that's about right. I think you can't argue with these ratings. 7.8 to 8.2, I think, is about right. So they've sort of nailed it there. Now, Gow, stop being cheeky. Take us through the cast.
All right, here we go. Sam Worthington, good Aussie boy.
Yeah,
actually born in England.
Really?
But came out here when he was
good
young.
English boy.
Yeah, good English boy. No, came out here super young, but was born actually in England.
He's like Russell Crowe.
Yes. Got his start on Jag in 2000 as Dunsmore. Played a guy called Dunsmore on an episode of Jag.
Catherine Bell is one of the top 10 best-looking TV women in the history of television.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Then he hit his straps. Water Rats, 2000. Blue Healers.
Oh, these are all Gow.
Yeah,
go-tos.
loved it.
I reckon Water Rats has gotten a run about 5 times on Born to Watch.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Kills it.
Thrills it.
Mate, he's in Bootmen in 2000 with Adam Garcia.
Okay.
Love My Way, a good Aussie series. He played Howard Light in that
Claudia
series.
Carvan.
And Asher Ketty, yeah. And then 2007 into Rogue.
That's a good movie, man.
Cracking movie.
It's a good crocodile movie.
Yeah. It's just so far-fetched, but it doesn't
I'll tell you
it
what,
doesn't quite jump.
I'll tell you who loves that. Kai Nixon.
Really?
Yeah. Elise Nixon. Kai
But they love the
Nixon.
crocodiles,
It's a mother-son movie match in heaven.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it is. I watched it. I really liked it, even though
it's fun.
there's a point in that where they cozy up into the sharks, into the crocodile's cave. But
well,
anyway, then Terminator Salvation.
That's a bad movie.
Take your word for it.
Yeah.
Avatar in 2009, then Clash of the Titans.
Yeah. Original's better. Harry Hamlin.
Yeah, Harry
Burgess
Hamlin.
Meredith.
Oh my God.
Was Burgess
That's like
Meredith?
1980 or 79.
Oh, it was too. That's right.
Yeah.
Really.
It was a go-to when I was young. A go-to.
But was also in Wrath of the Titans later on in 2012.
Yep.
Was in the movie Last Night with Keira Knightley and Eva Mendes. Paper Planes. Good Aussie movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, have you seen Paper Planes?
No.
Damo, come on.
No, haven't seen Rogue. Haven't seen that.
Well, you have to look on Plex.
Haven't seen Water Rats.
Oh,
You never watched Water Rats?
No, God, no.
Well, it's no, I can understand that one because it's competition, right?
Oh, yeah.
Summer Bay or nothing.
Yeah. But look, after that, in Everest with Josh Brolin, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Hacksaw Ridge in 2016.
Married to Lara Bingle.
Where the bloody hell are you?
Yeah.
He was a finalist to play James Bond in Casino Royale before Daniel Craig got it.
Jeez.
Which could have been a massive sliding door for him, being cast into more than one role.
He's no George Lazenby.
Well, there can only be one.
There's only one good Aussie.
There can only be one.
But was cast in Avatar after Jake Gyllenhaal and Matt Damon both turned it down.
Incredible.
And there is a story behind Matt Damon, which
I'm sure we'll get to it.
We can talk about later and listen to this.
Sure.
But
what
apparently,
what a tease, Gow. What a tease.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It's a good story.
It's like you're back at the Jet Club on a Thursday night.
Dollar drinks.
Just teasing.
But apparently, Arnie was looked at for this role by James Cameron.
Well,
but, yeah.
Is this from the other week? Yes.
Yeah, he was going to play
Animal Mother.
He was going to play. Yeah, he was going to play Colonel Quittridge. Apparently.
Yeah.
Arnie was looked for that. He's also looked for the part of Jake Sully and Neytiri.
Wow.
Yeah, he's very versatile, Arnie.
Very,
Incredible.
very. Yeah. Anyway, next up is Zoe Saldana.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Got her first role in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, she's one of the pirates.
Yeah, in The Curse of the Black Pearl in 2003.
Yeah.
Only a small role.
Yeah, small role, yeah.
But that was the first. Then into Terminal, she was Dolores Torres with Tom Hanks. Death at a Funeral with Martin Lawrence and James Marsden.
There's the original English
one.
version.
Yes.
And then there was another one which made all black actors.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, the American one.
Yeah.
But Star Trek Into Darkness, Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously that's when she has
Gamora.
really hit it. Yeah, and then Gamora, and into Avengers, Infinity Wars,
coloured skin.
Endgame.
She loves coloured skin. Right, she loves a bit of green skin, loves a bit of blue skin.
Yeah.
She don't care.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Atom Project?
I have with Chris Pratt.
So yeah, she's in that. She's only out this year. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a Netflix.
Only okay.
It's a Netflixer.
But a quick fact on her: she's the first and to date only actress in history to star in 3 films that have made more than $2 billion at the box office.
Wow.
Being Avatar on obviously Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame.
Wow. Okay, there you go.
And her films have grossed more than $11 billion worldwide.
She's no Samuel L. Jackson, but she's doing pretty well.
It's pretty crazy though to be in those movies.
Plus, she's also got Curse of the Black Pearl, which would be over $1 billion as well.
Yeah, well, probably, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
She was supposed to recur in
She's
the
in
next movie, and then they cut her out of it.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Next is Sigourney Weaver.
Love a bit of Sigourney.
Yeah.
One of the worst runners in cinema history.
How bad? She actually jogs. I actually was watching this last night. She jogs in this movie. She doesn't get to a full run though.
As,
so it's not
as the Avatar or as
no,
Grace?
no, as Grace. She's jogging. She's jogging alongside when they're trying to get to the ship when they get busted out.
Right, yeah.
She's jogging alongside. Yeah. Terrible in Aliens.
Terrible
runner.
Terrible runner. Almost ruins the movie. Takes it from being a 10 to a 9.8. Yeah.
That's harsh.
It is. It's very harsh.
She's in a couple of early TV shows and then in one movie called Madman in 1978. But then she was cast in Alien as obviously Ripley in 1979.
Great movie.
Then in Eyewitness 1981. The Year of Living Dangerously.
That's with Mel Gibson.
Yes, with Mel Gibson. And then Ghostbusters 84. Massive movie for
One
her.
of my all-time favourites.
Yeah.
Yep. Coming soon on Born to Watch Ghostbusters. It's got to be in the next half a dozen, I reckon.
We'll get there.
Love it.
But then Aliens 86, Gorillas in the Mist, which was 88.
Diane Fossey.
Working Girl, 88 as well.
Melanie Griffith.
Yeah. That won awards too, I think, Working Girl.
Yeah.
From
I'm
memory.
not a fan. It gets massive reviews, but
I would have watched it in 88. I don't think
I'm not a big fan of
since.
Melanie Griffith, to be honest. I find her voice to be quite annoying.
Has she done much since that?
No, not really.
No.
She was big for about 5 minutes in
Yeah.
the 80s and then nothing.
She married Antonio Banderas?
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Yeah, and that was,
Don Johnson too, was it?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was early on, yeah.
And it's Antonio Banderas.
Wow.
Yeah. He's from Barcelona.
Hey? Impressive.
So worldly.
Thank you. Yeah. I've never been to Spain.
But other movies, she was in Dave. She was in Copycat, 95.
Yeah, Harry Connick Jr.
Alien Resurrection, The Village in 2004.
Yeah, M. Night.
Obviously, Avatar, The Cabin in the Woods.
That's not a bad movie, The Cabin in the Woods, a horror. It's got Chris Hemsworth in it. It's actually
I haven't
pretty
seen
good.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's worth a watch.
And she was in Ghostbusters in 2016, but played a different character.
Really?
Yeah, she played
Oh,
Dr.
the
all-female
one.
Rebecca Gorin, yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't even bothered
erased
to see
I
that.
haven't seen it, but yeah.
I've erased it from my mind. I've seen it probably 3 times, but it's terrible.
Yeah. But here you go. Her salary for Alien Resurrection in 97 was more than the entire cost of Alien in 1979.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's on a small budget, obviously. She was considered for the role of Alex Forrest in your favourite Whitey, Fatal Attraction, one of your favourite solo movies.
Well, that was the start of my journey to manhood.
Yep.
12 years of age. Every boy has to, it was the
Go to the cinema alone.
Do you know what it was? It was the equivalent of the Spartan children having to fight the wolf.
Oh,
Going
right.
to see Fatal Attraction.
Yeah. Well, is it equivalent to eating the white dog shit too for the Yoda Club?
Yeah.
It's just part of the rite of passage.
Absolutely. That poor one kid. I can't wait to start hazing some of these kids up at Vicky Point.
Wait till I find the tree first.
It's an important part.
Yeah, so that was the first time she'd been in a James Cameron movie since Aliens, and he didn't want to cast her.
Yeah.
Because he thought it was a safe choice for her being the botanist, and Jodie Foster and Jamie Lee Curtis were considered for the role because obviously he'd had her in roles before that.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Jamie Lee Curtis would have looked all right as a Na'vi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
But same thing, we're getting into Stephen Lang now.
Yeah.
As Quaritch.
Quaritch, yeah.
But Michael Biehn was considered for that role.
Yeah,
right?
he was.
Because
he didn't want it to seem like
he didn't want to do the aliens thing again, so he didn't get that role.
That
but
would make sense then.
Should I jump ahead of something while you're talking?
I know what you're
here?
about to say. Ike Clanton.
Yep. 1 Degree of Kurt Russell.
I was waiting for your song.
Yeah. No, well,
where's your ding 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 song?
No, well, I look, it'll come when it's needed. This one was too easy.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Can I just say something too?
That's what you're here for.
He was in Stephen Lang was in a show called Terra Nova.
Right.
That was produced at Movie World up here in Queensland.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to think, because I supplied raw materials for their set. We supplied these big cores. So think about a toilet roll, but it's about 3 meters long, big heavy-duty toilet rolls that were used to build the sets, like the homes in Terra Nova.
Okay.
So if you watch the show, I can see my cores there all through the place.
Wow.
So I'm thinking I'm 4 degrees of Kurt Russell.
You are.
You are.
Because I've spoken to the procurement people who speak to the set designers who will probably... there is a missing link there somewhere, but there is definitely a 4th or 5th me to Kurt Russell.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a long fucking bow.
Well, I'm going with it.
Run with it, though. I'm happy with it.
So, yeah. So, I think I'm probably 4 or 5.
The scary thing is, mate, is that Kurt Russell's probably sitting around at a table
He's
playing
saying it right
poker,
now.
going,
That
do you know,
bloke.
I actually think I'm 5 degrees of Damo Giles.
You know, if you were a fly on the wall there right now,
He'd be
it's
saying
probably
Goldie.
exactly what he's saying.
He'd be like Goldie. There was this guy that supplied Stephen Lang with these cores.
Yep, that's right. Terra Nova. And it lasted one season.
So, yeah, Stephen Lang started off as Freddie Lowndes in Manhunter in 86.
Great movie. The original Hannibal Lecter. Brian Cox.
Yep.
William Peterson. It's Red Dragon. The movie's actually Red.
Right.
It's from the book Red Dragon.
Okay.
Michael Mann directed it. It is excellent. If you've not seen it, see Manhunter.
I don't think I have. I can't remember.
God, it's good.
Okay, well, he was in Gettysburg, Major General George Pickett in 93, then into Tombstone 93. Did a fair bit of jobbing after that.
Falls off the cliff.
Yeah, went a bit
He
of jobbing.
he did The Hard Way. I love that
Hard Way.
movie.
Was it
Michael
with
J.
James
Fox
Woods?
and James
James
Woods.
Woods.
That is a sensational movie. It's hilarious.
Really?
Bang Bang Nick Lang. Yeah, it's
Okay.
so good.
Well done.
Have you seen it?
Not for a long time.
I don't
I
remember
still
that
make my
movie.
hot dogs at home. I call them frog dogs, and I copy the way James Woods does it. So he gets the bun, he puts the hot dog bit in it, covers it with chips, covers it with mustard, covers it with sauce, all in one big thing, and we call it a frog dog, and it's delicious.
What chips do you put on it?
Oh, just hot chips. Like,
Oh,
cook
get
the hot
it.
chips, stick that in the hot dog, and put all the crap on it too.
Nice.
Mate, I'm coming up to your place for a frog dog.
For a frog dog. Oh my
Do you know
gosh.
what
Yeah.
it sounds like a American gyros.
It is, but delicious.
Frog dogs.
Yeah, frog dogs.
Bring it.
A frog, a dog. That's what they,
Yeah, right. I like it.
We're on to Michelle Rodriguez. Now, really interesting with her, it was her first movie. It was a movie called Girl Fight in 2000.
Yeah, I remember
Right?
it.
I haven't seen that, but
Yeah.
that was her first acting audition, and she got the role. She beat out 350 other actors to get that role. Her second audition was The Fast and the Furious in 2001, and she got that role.
She Lottie? Is that her
Yeah,
name?
Letty.
Letty.
That's not a bad start to your career. Your first 2 auditions, you picked up 2 movies, and
There's
one of them,
something about her.
yeah,
There's something about her.
and one of them's a big franchise.
Yeah. She's got some spunk.
Yeah.
Well, she's kind of the same in everything. That
She's
kick-ass,
She is
fearless
she's a one-trick pony.
woman. Yeah.
There's no doubt she's a one-trick pony. You're not going to see her in Romeo and Juliet.
No, well, we haven't. What's she been in? Resident Evil, Blue Crush in 2002, SWAT.
Oh, SWAT's a guilty pleasure. Colin Farrell, Jeremy Renner. Na 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 na. Greg Highfield's favourite. Na na na. SWAT cock. Dun, 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 dun. SWAT cock. Na 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 na. All right.
But yeah, so she was in Lost. She was Ana Lucia Cortez in Lost for a few
I loved
years.
Lost. Love Lost.
Yeah, I think she's in the second series of that. And then she was in Machete.
Oh, I like it. Look at you go, Gow.
I just knew I had to get it right.
You got to get it right.
And she was obviously in the follow-up Machete Kills.
Yes, she was.
And obviously the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yep.
She was the original choice to be in Aeon Flux, which went to Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. Yeah.
And she was also considered for the role of Christine in Crash, which went to Tandy Newton.
Okay. One of the worst Best Picture winners in the history of the Academy.
Yeah, I don't remember much about Crash.
Don't
I remember watching it. Giovanni Ribisi got his start as Curtis Johnson in a couple of episodes of Highway to Heaven.
Oh, God.
85.
Michael Landon.
Yeah, Michael Landon. How old's that show?
Wow. Didn't watch it. Is there a theme song?
I don't know. Look, it was, to be honest, it's not really my bag. I just knew it was Michael Landon.
Yeah,
he plays an angel.
See, he was Little House on the Prairie, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where I knew. So he goes to
Michael
Highway
Landon
to
plays
Heaven.
an angel in Highway to Heaven.
Oh,
he goes
that's
around
right.
and he sort of is like Kane from Kung Fu.
Yeah,
but he's an angel just solving problems.
Solving
for
people's
people.
problems.
The Equalizer.
Yeah, he's Edward Woodward.
But then had a big role in Simon and Simon. It's kid number one.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Damo, you can relate.
Yeah,
you can relate.
Kid number one.
Yeah,
but here's one. He was on a show. He had a recurring role as a guy named Travis with Gil Gerard on Sidekicks.
Oh,
do you remember Sidekicks?
The little Asian kid.
Little Asian kid that
Yeah.
karate. Yeah.
Yes, I do remember Sidekicks.
Yeah.
How good was Gil Gerard? Buck Rogers.
Yeah, Buck Rogers. Yeah. The Wonder Years recurring role in there was in That Thing You Do. Saving Private Ryan obviously was his probably his biggest movie. Then The Mod Squad, Boiler Room, which
He's
is
good
a
in Boiler
flick.
Room.
Yeah, he's really good in Boiler Room. Yeah. Gone in 60 Seconds, Lost in Translation. Had a few recurring roles on Friends after that. Yeah,
Friends was brilliant. Where he was
He plays
Phoebe's brother,
Phoebe's
Frank. Frank Buffet Jr.
Frank Buffet Jr.
Do you know the Friends song?
Here
we go.
Who sings that? Who sings that?
I'm
Yep.
gonna say Remarkables, but
come
it's
on.
not.
No, it's the artist, painter.
Yep. Come on.
Rembrandt.
Yes,
well
well done.
Yeah,
When
Frank
no one
Buffet.
told me I was gonna be this way.
way.
Job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way.
Oh yeah. No, he was good because he liked to melt things. When I first saw him, he liked to melt things, and he didn't like things that wouldn't melt.
Yeah.
Like he was such a
He was
weird
weird.
unit,
He was weird.
and he was so brilliant.
He
in
married
that.
the old bird.
Yes.
He was with the old bird, who was the mum out of Third Rock from the Sun or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
but
That 70s show.
That 70s show. That's it. Yeah.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, he was in Ted, obviously Avatar, Gangster Squad, and A Million Ways to Die in the West. Yeah, we get into CCH Pounder, Joel David Moore. Do we need to go further into
No.
the cast?
I think the
we've
cast
covered it.
once we're moving out from that,
It's
they're
a
all
big
blue.
cast.
They're all blue.
But we can talk about your favourite director
James
and
Cameron.
writer, James Cameron.
Love James Cameron.
His first movie.
First movie?
Yeah.
Of all time?
What was his first movie? of all
Piranha
time?
2.
Piranha 2.
Yeah, and he got
The
called in
Spawning.
late. He got called in late.
Yeah, he called him with 2 weeks to go, didn't he?
Yeah, well, the director pulled out. I'm not sure whether Joe Dante was directing the second one. He directed the first one, but he was like a set designer, or he was in the production crew.
He was something like that, a set
and
designer.
so they pulled him into the directing job and crushed it.
I think he came up with some ideas, didn't he? And then they were like, "You've got some really good ideas." Someone came across him doing some stuff one day, and they just
What was his
threw him
next
into it.
movie?
Next movie was Terminator.
Yeah. So you go from
Yeah, you
Piranha
go from
2
Piranha 2
to one of the greatest
Terminator
sci-fi movies in the history.
3 years
of-
later.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But then here we go. So Terminator 84, Aliens 86, The Abyss 89, Terminator 2 91, True Lies, Titanic, Avatar.
It's ridiculous.
Like that is a huge amount of movies.
Yeah.
And Titanic was, I think,
The number one box office
Number
movie
one
in
box
the
office
world,
movie, and then-
it got overtaken by Avatar.
by Avatar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the most Academy Awards too, and
Titanic, yeah. He won 11. I think
Yeah,
he won
something
11.
like that, yeah.
Right, first directed to film both a $100 million movie, which was Terminator 2 in 91, and a $200 million movie in Titanic in 97.
Incredible. He's such a visionary.
And we'll get to some of the stats like of the movie because it's one of the highest grossing of all time.
Yeah.
But he actually wrote a screenplay for Spider-Man in 2002, and it got turned down because it was too violent.
Yeah. And they take the piss out of him in Entourage about doing the Aquaman movie. He directs the Aquaman movie that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
In Entourage, does he?
In Entourage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's actually he's on Entourage.
I've never watched Entourage, but
but he's on Entourage himself. Yeah.
He's on Entourage himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been on quite a few shows.
Yeah. He does. You know what he is? He loves a cameo.
Oh, he does love a cameo.
Loves a cameo. Yeah.
So there was a magazine article written in the 80s. I don't know if you've come across this, but he had his desk set up at home at one stage. And at one desk, he had the script to The Terminator, and another, he was finishing Rambo.
He wrote that, yeah.
Yep. And on the third, he was writing Aliens.
Yeah. Mate, he's
how ridiculous. At one stage, he's got 3 of those on his table.
Mate, he's so talented.
Yeah.
So talented. And he rediscovered the Titanic.
Yes.
He went down.
He's gone down to like the deepest part of the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, mate, he's done so many documentaries on
location
the Titanic.
scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Morgs.
He is, except real. Except legitimate. And probably a good bloke.
All right, so we'll talk about the gross now.
Yeah.
Avatar grossed to date $2.847 billion.
Wow.
Becoming the fastest film to gross $750 million. Within just 39 days, it surpassed Titanic as the highest grossing movie of all time within 39 days.
It's crazy.
Now, I know it took a long time in production and obviously to get the CGI right and all of that. But wow, that's amazing. Racked up $1.86 billion in global sales, ticket sales in less than 6 weeks. So it's $237 million budget.
You know the movies are good. That's a multiple cinema experience. So people are going multiple times to see this movie in the cinema because it's really the only way to see it. You've really missed out if you haven't seen it in the cinema.
Well, that's right.
And I would suggest going and seeing the movie in the cinema while it's out in re-release.
I haven't seen it in the cinema. I didn't watch it.
I'd take the kids. Wow. Take the kids.
I didn't watch it when it first came out. I don't know when you saw it, Damo.
No, in the cinema, 3D.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it for a few years after it came out.
So good. Yep.
But yeah, and it was the highest grossing movie of all time, I think, till Avengers Endgame.
Till Avengers Endgame, yeah.
But adjusted for inflation, Gone with the Wind was the biggest.
Yeah, well, that's always going to be the biggest, isn't it? Yeah.
So that was adjusted at $3 billion.
Yeah, crazy.
So it's just slightly ahead.
Yeah,
but
a lot of money.
Didn't win a lot of awards. Won 3 awards.
Yeah, all technical,
all visual and screenplay. And I think there's only been 2 of his movies that haven't won or been nominated for the visual and screenplay awards. But The Hurt Locker won everything in 2009.
Yeah,
Best Picture, Best Director.
His ex-wife, Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah. Best original screenplay, sound editing, mixing, film editing.
It's a good movie, The Hurt Locker.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. I'm not sure it's as good as what everyone thinks it is, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Look, I thought it was a good movie. I don't think it was that good, but
no.
Jeff Bridges won Best Actor for Crazy Heart.
Yeah,
The Blind Side was Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Christoph Waltz won Best Supporting Actor. Obviously, we've been through him. Yeah, so
one of the greatest performances in the history of cinema.
Yeah. But Avatar won Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, and Best Visual Effects.
And so it should have.
Yeah. But looking at...
it's the first fully animated movie to win Best Cinematography?
Yes. Yeah. First fully animated movie, yeah. But
Avatar,
$2.86 billion. Harry Potter was in second place at... Anyone got a guess?
600?
1.2 billion.
Right in the middle, 929 million. Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen.
Away.
2012, Up, The Twilight Saga.
2012 was just rubbish.
But yeah, anyway, that sort of shows you what movies were sort of
for sure
kicking around in 2009.
Yeah. It was a good year, 2009. You and I would have been balls deep in a video shop, Damo.
Just the last year, sold it in 2009.
Yeah, I still had a few years to go. Probably should have got out in 2009, but held on.
Yeah.
But
What's the movie you just put on over and over? What did you have on there?
Oh, it was at the video shop.
At Avalon, yeah.
Oh, mate, it was usually a Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
It was any number of Star Warses. Jaws got a lot of runs, and then it would depend on a Saturday night after sort of 8:30. It was just fill your boots with whatever you wanted.
Yep.
So it was. I watched a lot of movies in those 8 years. A lot of movies. A lot.
Well, you're in a video shop. There's going to be a lot
Not
of
much else to do.
No.
Pay your late fees, then get out so I can watch my movie.
Pay me.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, look, I think it's probably time for question time. I'd be interested to get your feedback on it. In a world starved of original material, which is what we are at the moment. Everything's a prequel, sequel, and reimagining. This is an original piece of material. Is Pandora and all its beauty enough to cover a run-of-the-mill story? What do you reckon, Damo?
Yeah, look, I've wrote this down. One description I heard from this movie, it should be called Dances with Fern Gully, Pocahontas, Aliens While Saving Private Ryan from 9/11. There's bits of everything in this movie.
There is.
But, but visually...
does the story matter?
Well, there's two types. This movie, whether you saw it, if you saw it in those visually immersive situations like an IMAX or a 3D, the story didn't really matter because it just was so brilliant. Just being amongst that 3D, the effects look so good, and the story, I don't know, it didn't really matter. But when you watch it on a normal screen or on your TV, well, you got to rely on the story. And I still think, actually, it still carries through. It's still not too bad. Actually, I don't mind the story, but it's been done before.
Yeah, it's an age-old story. It's not a bad story, but it has. It's just been done and done and done. Gail, what are your thoughts?
I think exactly that. The story's been done, but if you're going to watch that with all the effects, it's going to be amazing. And everybody was really keen to watch that movie.
The minute they touch down in Pandora, and we can disregard the first 5 minutes where he's on the ship and there's a little bit of 3D there, but the minute they touch down, the gate opens, you can see the fumes of the different sort of atmosphere.
Yeah,
I'm in. I'm like, fuck, what's going on here? Right, and all those things walking around look like they're in Out of Aliens, the hydraulic soldiers.
Well, I will say that the story is a bit age old, and we've all seen that before. But the performances are pretty good. I mean, it carries through. I was watching it last night, thinking, "Wow, they've done really well." I thought some of the actors were really good in it. The emotion they can convey out of that.
It can't have been easy, man.
No,
like Zoe Saldana, her whole performance is motion capture. Her whole performance. Not everyone is this. Like, there are people that aren't that, but some of them are full CGI. Not all of them. Her whole performance, it took 2 years to capture her performance, right? It can't have been easy to make.
No, of course it wasn't easy, but I still think some of those performances were pretty good.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And I think watching it, you're sort of going, it does tug on the heartstrings. They do a very good effort at the story.
Yeah. When they bomb Home Tree and all that kind of stuff, that's emotional.
Yeah.
All right. Is this James Cameron's greatest achievement?
Yeah, I would say it is. It's not my favourite James Cameron, but the world that he created, the flora, the fauna, that the 3D technology, there was nothing like it. You were immersed in this world, and the whole thing was marketed that you had to go to the movies and see it. People tended to still wait for DVD or pirated things, but this was marketed, and they were 100% correct to do it that way. You've got to go to the movies. You've got to watch it in 3D, and it was just so spectacular. It was an awesome achievement. To me, though, I still prefer Aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everyone from Aliens. I know Drake and Spunkmeyer and Hicks and Hudson, and you know all their names. I don't really know the names of the people in Avatar.
No, it is hard.
I don't know their names, apart from Jake Sully. But but it definitely, I would say 100% it is his greatest achievement.
Yeah.
Well, I would say if you make a movie that grosses $2.8 billion, it's going to be, the biggest thing you've ever done or the best thing you've ever done. But the fact that he spent so much time writing it and then he spent 8 or 9 years waiting for the technology to catch up to where he wanted it to be.
Well, in the 90s, this was budgeted at $400 million. He couldn't get it financed, right? Because he had to do what George Lucas did and create the technology.
Yeah.
No one would finance it. But come the 2000s...
Well, they had it. So, yes, I think Aliens is a 10 times better movie, but if you're talking achievement, then...
Yeah, I 100% agree. I believe Aliens is James Cameron's best movie, hands down. It's actually not even close. And that's saying something because T2's amazing.
Yep.
I even really love True Lies. I've got a real soft spot for True Lies, but Aliens is just the best.
Yep.
But Titanic's pretty fucking amazing.
It's a good movie.
Right? I watched that with Isabel about 6 months ago. She was just transfixed. Could not turn away from the TV. It had her, right? She loves a bit of romance, but it just doesn't compare. Like what he made from scratch here. Like it took him 2 years to develop the language. Like this is stuff from. This is like putting a seed in a terrarium and building an ecosystem from the ground up, and that's what he did.
Yep,
blew me away.
Look, it is great. There's no doubt it's a good movie, and there's no doubt we all believe that Aliens is a better movie.
Yes.
And Titanic's a great movie, but it's a blockbuster.
For sure.
It's got the blockbuster storyline.
Yeah.
Same as this.
And it's got Billy Zane in it. He's a wanker.
He is.
You'd like him, though, wouldn't you, Damon?
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah, you'd like Billy Zane.
Like the baddies.
You do like the baddies. Okay. So, if given the choice, a la Jake Sully, do you stay as an avatar and live on Pandora?
Look, if I was in Jake Sully's position, yes.
Yeah.
But are you asking for me?
Yeah.
Like if it was me, it was
look, I'm not saying, look, obviously Jake Sully, he's a long-lost cousin of Lieutenant Dan. He's going to take the option to...
No, definitely say that. Look, but depends on your circumstances. If you, say, had a family back at home, you know, on Earth...
family, man.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't stay there. But
hang on a minute. You've gone 6 years out there.
Yeah, I know. They're probably all dead.
6 years back.
Yeah, who knows?
You know,
yeah.
Wow, you know. Yeah. That's a lot of clapping from Jackson in that 12 years.
It is, yeah. No, but if I was in Jake Sully's position with no legs and everything, and to live on that planet and cruise around like they do, it's great.
Was it 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years to get there.
I thought it was 3 years and 36 months.
That's
funny,
the
funny girl.
That's the BTW conversion scale.
That's a Whitey scale.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It actually was both. It could be 6 years.
But
or 3 years
is that why do you think
months.
the new movie is 12 years later? Because it took 6 years for them to get back, and then 6 years for them to go back again.
Maybe.
So it's like, oh, here they come now. Because
that would be pretty good for him to say that.
Yeah,
He won't.
The math sort of adds up.
It does. It'd be interesting. I'm interested to see what way they go with it. Whether the and there's actually a really good quote, which we'll get to in quotables, that I've got there about that sort of situation with the humans and the Na'vi. But anyway, I agree. I'd stay. I don't give a fuck. I'm staying now, even with my family.
Okay,
I'm plugging into the Matrix and I'm gone.
Well, they were saying that how bad Earth is during
I love you,
right?
Megan.
Yeah.
I love you, Megan. It's all good.
But they were saying how bad it was on Earth, but you don't get much sense of it because he's in a bar in a town at the start and gets into a fight, and so you don't know.
In the extended version, you see quite a bit. The first part goes for maybe 15 minutes when he's actually gets bashed. All this kind of stuff happens, so you see what Earth's like, and it's not that bad. Looks like Fox,
it doesn't.
Looks like Fox Studios.
Are you coming back? Well, how bad is it on Earth?
Yeah.
They're trying to say that it's bad, but who knows how bad it was?
Yeah.
Certainly nice up there, but
and who knows whether Quirych has got him his legs.
Yeah.
I don't think he has.
Your real legs.
I don't think he has.
certainly didn't have him in the end. Like he went off that pretty quick.
He did. He did. All right. Well played, boys. Let's move into the good, the bad, the ugly. So we'll talk about the things that we think are good about the movie and what we think are bad. And then if anything is downright ugly, we'll discover it here. Start with you, Gow. What do you got for the good?
My good was, I mean, apart from we can go into the CGI and how awesome all that was, but mine was, you know, Jake as a character, he's had an accident, he can't walk, and then when he first gets up there and gets into his avatar, you know, he just jumping to get out of that bed, and he's just walking outside, and he hasn't even quite got.
That's actually quite a good emotional beat. That when you can just see him, he's like, I want to walk. I want to. When you see him put his legs down and then wiggle his toes, you're like, yeah, right, you get it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
but I think that's and it's obviously symbolic of how bad his life and life is on Earth, and how free and beautiful and nice it is up there in Pandora. So that was my good in the movie.
Yeah. Okay, Damo, what do you got?
I like Giovanni Ribisi.
Or Batty.
Yeah, he was my favourite character in it. Everything he said made me laugh. His faces, everything. He was just a dick, a golf putting dick.
Yeah,
and I thought he was really cool. But yeah, like the world itself though was what was really good. The animals, the design of the animals, how there was a bit of a horse, or there was a bit of a panther, or a hyena.
So a funny little thing there is that every animal has 6 legs.
Yeah, and big muscly legs.
Yeah, like they're it's amazing.
Awesome designs, and with the breathing, like some of them had like gills, like the air came in on their necks. I just love that design. I just thought whoever came up, apart from that one turkey thing that he shot, it had this sort of skinny neck looking Botox lipped sort of thing. And it's what he said his little prayer and
yes,
I see you, I respect you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Go
prolong
back to
your
the
pain.
Land. Go back to the land.
That thing was just the only weird looking animal. But They were brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, they recycled most of the animal sounds from the T-Rexes and the Raptors from Jurassic Park.
Definitely. You could hear it when they with the clicking from the Velociraptors, definitely.
And I think the panther sounded like the T-Rex.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look, I've got, obviously the world is incredible. We can't, and the technology, we can't say too much about that. It's incredible. I really like the first scene when he's in the helicopter, when he gets in the fight, he's separated, when he's touching those pink things, and they're like, voomp, voomp.
Yeah, they're sucked
and then
down.
it opens up, and there's the animals in front of him.
Oh, the big rhino thing, or the hippo, or whatever it is.
I really like that scene and how that then leads into where he gets separated, he has to jump into the waterfall,
Yep.
and he's on his own at night.
Yep.
I think that whole, and then the next morning when he's obviously rescued by Neytiri, and then just how, and the thought that goes into it, that every step they take, it's white, like it glows.
It lights up.
It's just so, like, you get such a, you know what you're in for. I really like a movie that sort of gives you what you're up for up front. Like, you don't have to work too hard.
But that's what looks so good in 3D.
Yeah.
You were actually, you were surrounded by these lights.
Well, that
and
part,
those plants.
That the white jellyfish things that come down and
Yeah,
land
yeah,
on him that
yeah.
essentially say that he's the chosen
Yeah.
one. I recall in the cinema, and it happened again.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that. That was when Isabel was trying to reach
Yep,
them.
Yep.
Like, you feel like you are surrounded by them. It's
You were
bloody
totally
amazing.
immersed in that world.
Yeah. I also love the first Ikran flight. So when he has to climb up do the big,
Yep.
you know, a bit like me, going to see Fatal Attraction, you know, climbing up the cliffs and finding the Ikran, have to choose his Ikran and then flying. That is incredible, that.
Yeah.
It's like you jumping off the houseboat.
It's like, you mean in Thailand? Yeah, no, that was not one of my finest moments. I'm not good from heights. I'm not very good from heights.
I'm not sure how you'd have gone up there with the Ikran, but
I wouldn't have made it up. I would have fallen. Like, my arms, like they had to pull themselves up a lot.
Oh.
The arms wouldn't have made it. The
they
noodles.
just flicked up that hill, didn't they? They just go.
They're so
The
strong.
parkour experts.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they're 10 feet tall.
They
They are
well,
10
could
feet
you
tall.
imagine Na'vi parkour? Like, everyone is a genius.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that Ikran, I will just touch on, because I've flown one. I flew my mountain Banshee. So I went to Disney World, to Animal Kingdom. This is 3 years ago, and they've got this whole world set up as Pandora. Like, it's got floating mountains. It's got the flora is all blue and green and whatever. But you go on the ride and you basically fly the Ikran, and you sit on it. It's kind of like a motorbike, and you put the 3D glasses on, and it's like this giant IMAX screen right in front of your face. And you can feel the Ikran, it's breathing in between your legs. It's sort of breathing. It's like this animal. And you take off on this thing and you launch directly straight down the cliff like they do in the movie. And you are literally traveling at like what feels like about 150 Ks an hour with this whole world around you. And you sort of, then you start sort of gliding around. You fly towards the ocean. You feel the spray of the sea. It is the most spectacular ride. It is the greatest ride. It was pretty much the best ride I've ever been on. Best Disney ride by far. But that whole area, when you leave it too at night, everything glows exactly like Pandora. Wow. So this whole precinct, it's huge, and it's lit up. It's all fluorescent greens and pinks and purples, and
wow.
And the footpaths all glow. Like, it's just, you literally feel like you're in Pandora. It's so good. And it's not like real easy just to go to Disney World and go on that ride, but if you ever get that opportunity, if you're lucky enough, be wary though.
How long did you line up for?
Well, we got there early at 6 a.m. and did rope drop. This is what the locals know. So that as soon as the ropes opened, we ran and we got straight on the ride. I went on it again later. It took me 2 hours, but I've seen the line for 4 hours because you got it on your app, what the line times are, and it was 4 hours. And
how can you wait for 4 hours to go on a ride?
I was about an hour and a half into mine when I felt like hanging a slash.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, just hang on now. Because there's not a place to do a pit stop in this ride. But the line itself, they have the big tank, like with the Na'vi in it, like the big blue, like in the water tank. It's got a Turok sort of skeleton there. So there's things that you can look at on the way. But people do line up for 4+ hours to get on that ride.
You can have that.
But it is, honestly, it's worth it. I'd say it's that ride, that 4-minute ride or 4.5 minute, whatever, was better than the movie. It was just phenomenal.
You know what, though? What I love about Born to Watch is we just keep adding value, and we've learnt something new today. We've learned about the rope drop. So wherever you travel over there,
Rope
6
drop.
a.m.
Get
rope
there.
drop. Run as fast as you can.
Well, no, there's people that say, don't run,
You're
don't
not
run,
allowed
don't
to
run, don't run.
It's like a
I
movie
ran.
world here. It's like a Warner Brothers movie world.
I ran.
Everyone's running. To
Well,
the
everyone
Scooby-Doo
pulled away
ride.
from me. My kids were so far in front of me. I was like, I've got to clap it on here.
Well, you got to be careful.
I started to stride.
You don't want to get a long cork.
Yeah, I did have a very long cork that one time.
You did. All right.
Yeah.
Long cork.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, Damo, you got anything for the bad?
Sam Worthington was a little flat. I thought, like at the beginning, he's looking at his dead brother.
Sam Worthington's Sam Worthington.
Yeah,
Like, he's not.
Well, but do you remember when his brother was in the box next to him? It's like dead, but his face was kind of like, what have you done now?
Yeah.
Like it was like he's dead. Like I just felt that I never actually really liked him. I was going for him, and everything, but I just didn't warm to. Yeah, warm to him.
Yeah.
No. Not that
Yeah,
fast.
I agree with that. I don't think his performance was super in this. He was really. I really liked him in Rogue. I've liked him in other things, but
Yeah, he's not.
maybe he's young. I don't know.
He's not a great actor. There's no doubt.
But I think in that just one of the bad. I think in that scene they first go in because it's supposed to be his twin brother, and when they first show it, it is him, and then when they cut back to it, it's not him. It's a different actor.
Oh, was
in
it?
there? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so a little bit of continuity there, team.
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Gow?
Look, we already talked about mine. I had the cryo frozen. That was 6 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I don't understand their 6 years. What are the people when they're flying up there or when they're frozen? How long? What are the other people doing?
I think they're all frozen. I think it's
Everyone's
AI.
frozen.
So someone has to wake up first. And
Yeah,
they're all frozen. for
I
6
would
years.
assume that the workers wake up a day or two before or a week before to get everything ready, and then the other guys wake up.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
My limits
you
of
wouldn't want to
knowledge.
wake up early on the flight accidentally.
So they need to stagnate it because I'm going straight to take a shit. That is first stop, and it's like get out of the way. It's DEFCON 1000.
You would have needed some of Damo's toilet paper, the industrial.
Well, I'm telling
stuff.
you, it's
big
like
stuff.
you the other week, out.
The big stuff.
You couldn't hang around. You needed to get out. That's how I would be. I would like just move out of the way. Right? No podcast is standing in the way of me and my
Get out.
Dalton.
Like when George was when
Yeah,
the fire when in Seinfeld.
Yes, yeah.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
Yep. Yeah. Okay, yeah, my bad is it's long. Man, it's long. And it actually does feel long in some bits. The thing that pulls you back in is the world. But I reckon you could easily cut 20 minutes out of it. The fact that there's another 30 minutes in an extended cut, and I've watched that a couple of times, that's pretty long. And I've just got the story. The story's a little weak, but I can give and take that because the rest of it's pretty freaking amazing.
Well, he kind of wanted that, James Cameron, because he said I'm a bit of a tree hugger, so he kind of wanted that storyline to be about the earth or the environment and saving the environment.
Ewa heard you, Jake. Ewa hear you. Jake Sully. Ewa.
Oh, jeez, you're giving me tingles.
I know. Anyone got anything for ugly?
No.
Yep.
Oh,
okay.
The mineral unobtainium.
Unobtainium. Yeah.
Like, I don't think you could get a worse name.
It's a bad name.
But the price of it doesn't make sense. It's $20 million a kilogram.
Yeah.
What is it like? Is it like the spice from June? Does it give you life? What metal costing 20? Because you think about the amount of metal used in their big earth-moving equipment. The stuff is gigantic. What is unobtainium used for?
Yeah, it doesn't explain that.
Because if it's $20 million a kilo, I don't understand how. Yeah.
And if it is that, and why does Selfridge or Giovanni Ribisi have a piece on his desk?
Yeah,
that
that's
must be
20
worth,
mil right there.
Yeah, it must be
As
worth a
a
heap
kilo.
just sitting on his desk, and
Yeah.
he just leaves it there and goes, that'll be fine.
Look, but the other ugly thing I kind of find it's kind of taking a step back from the movie but it is very anti-corporate and anti-military. But it's just a little rich for Hollywood to sort of preach that. when they love violence and guns, it's what feeds their all their movies, and they are a pretty big corporation themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. They take no prisoners.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, man, it's a ruthless corporation.
Definitely.
I actually, now you say that, I have this one little ugly. There was when the ships start coming in when they're blowing up the tree, and they first come in, and the Na'vi all start firing arrows at them, and they're just flicking off they're just bouncing off. And so that's fine. Yeah, they're not doing any of those massive gunships. But then later when they're coming in from above,
yes,
on their Ikrans, and they're shooting down the big arrows, and it goes straight
Straight
through the glass
You're right.
into the pilot. I was like, well, hang on, they
Yeah.
couldn't pierce this thing from below, but now they can.
Yes.
Just going straight through.
You're right.
So,
Yes, definitely.
anyway.
I did notice that too.
Yeah.
Good pick up, Gow.
Yeah.
You're bringing the heat.
Oh,
again
mate,
today.
I'm all over it.
Okay, how good are you? All right. Well, I don't have any ugly. Gow's had his little snipe. And let's move into listen to this. We'll start with you, Gow. What do you got? You got anything here?
I've got a couple of little things here.
Usually do.
It's not a little one. This is the big one. I'm going to go straight out with the
go
Matt
for
Damon story. And I don't know if everyone knows this, but Matt Damon was offered to be in this movie. And he's come out and said that James Cameron offered him 10% of this movie.
Wow.
Right? And he was at the
Of
time...
the gross takings.
Of the gross takings. And said, mate, because he was a big star at that time.
That's
and he
nearly
was like,
$300 million.
Yeah. So he said he was in the midst of shooting Jason Bourne movies and he didn't want to stuff that up and leave everyone in the lurch. So he said no. And then not realising that it was going to make $2.86 billion. So he's left, $300 million on the floor.
Yeah.
And
He's
he
done
said,
all right,
I am
though.
the biggest idiot of all time.
Yeah,
Wow.
He's done all right, though. Yeah. He's all right.
Oh, look, he's done all right, but still.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And that's the first movie. Now we've got 4 other ones coming out too.
Oh, yeah, no, it's they're all gonna do the same business. There's no doubt.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big miss.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big sliding door for Matt Damon.
Big one. What else you got? You got anything else? I got one.
Yep, go.
Okay. At the time of auditioning, Sam Worthington was living in his car.
I was about to say that. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yep.
He hadn't done much before that.
Nah,
He'd been on Blue Hill. So what are we talking about? He'd done Blue Hill. He'd done Water Rats.
TV royalty.
Yeah, in Australia.
Yeah. 40. We found out it's $45 a day. He would have been paid for that.
That's right.
I mentioned it before, but he wanted to release this in 1999, but the budget was going to be $400 million. So hence it came out in 2009. And it cost
Started
considerably
making
less.
2006.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got one here. The language, we talked about earlier about the language they created.
Yep.
But the guy that did it was a linguist called Paul Frommer. And they hired him to construct a language that the actors could pronounce but wouldn't sound anything like a normal language, which definitely didn't. But he created about 1,000 words.
It sounds a little like Sioux. There's a bit of Chumani Tutanka Owachi. Chumani Tutanka Owachi.
Okay. I've got nya totute lu olte nya navikelu.
What does that mean?
It means you human to be and you Navi not to be. But the language, is something that I had down. It was based on the Maori language.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I was going to say it's got indigenous hints through it.
So it's based on the Maori language, and there are people now that it's still developing this language.
Please don't.
Wow.
Please don't tell me that people speak Navi.
You can learn Navi. Yep, you can learn it.
Seriously, what's the world coming to?
So like the word scown, but remember scown means moron, but it's scown. It's like, because I wrote it down, it's spelled S-K-X.
Yes.
S-K-X-A-W-N-G. But the KX is like a click sound. Scown.
Right.
It's a really intricate language. But that always made me think about other shows like Tolkien. He created 5 languages for the Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
There was the Elvish language and the Dwarven language. The
And
Black speech.
The guys from Rings of Power have created a lot more because they could do better than him.
Yeah, he's better. But I started to think about, well, what did Greedo speak? Uta guta solo.
Yeah.
What did he speak? Was it a made up language?
British.
No, it was
here we
called Quechua, which was an ancient South American language, like that the Incas used.
What did Jabba speak?
Oh, that would have to be just gibber, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know.
Huttese.
Jibber jabber.
Huttese.
Yeah.
I reckon
So-
it's
Jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber.
But that's the thing. So you got like
you Jabra.
Avatar has created its own language with the Na'vi, and Tolkien created their own language. But obviously, sort of, you can't go that. That's some full-on work to do that.
Well, same with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there's Dothraki,
There's
and
Dothraki, there's
Huttese. Huttese.
Oh, is
Jabba
it?
the Hutt, as I thought.
but is it actually
Huttese.
they've-
Yeah.
Hutties.
Yeah.
Huttese. Brett.
Yeah. So but that's quite a mission to do. So as you said, like 10 years before he produced the movie, they'd already had created the language. That
Absolutely.
Paul Frommer was he's the USC Marshall School of Business A professor. He's a professor at USC Marshall
Professor of
School
Navi.
Yeah, he created it. Yeah.
Hey, the cigarette that Sigourney Weaver smokes is
Oh,
computer
yeah.
generated. It's fake.
Oh.
She hates cigarettes. There's another movie where she smokes in it, but it's the same thing.
She couldn't just use like a pack of fags.
Well, like
remember the lollies?
Cigarette Man in X-Files. It just
Oh,
smoked
yeah.
like oregano.
Because I actually watched that and I thought it's a bit odd when she's smoking. I thought, well, she's smoking on this planet and she's supposed to be out there being the botanist.
That's a good point.
It was really. I know. I actually did take note of that.
But that was just I don't know. It was like the Doctor in the Battlestar Galactica series who used to sit in his room and just chain smoke. It was kind of just I don't know, just a little quirky thing about it
for sure.
I got one quick one at the end there. That there are no opening credits in the movie. So the
Straight
first time
into
you
it.
see Avatar, apart from the 20th Century Fox title card, the only time you see Avatar is right at the end. Bang! It comes up right as the movie ends, which is very different to what most movies do.
Well, it's usually not allowed.
Well, it's
but
their
that's
self-promotion.
changed.
Yeah,
That's changed since. You usually have to put the credits before the movie starts. It's one of the regulations. George Lucas bucked that trend. Okay, what about Jake's atrophied legs? Were prosthetic casts for the legs of a real paraplegic.
They looked really skinny.
Yeah, Isabel said to me in the movie, goes, "Oh, his legs are really skinny." I had to try and tell her in the middle of the movie what a paraplegic was, and that legs don't move, so they wilt,
Waste away.
They waste away.
Just bone on
it did. When I
skin.
remember looking at watching it,
full-
whoa,
it's full
that
on,
looks
man. It's full on.
Yeah.
But they put his legs behind the chair and then
those-
CGI'd that in.
Yeah. Yes.
But
They
it was based
they look
on
bloody good.
someone's legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anyone got anything else?
No.
Okay.
I was just going to ask a question though. Like, what would the movie District 9?
I do. One of the greatest movies.
What if the Na'vi looked like those things, like the prawns?
The prawn.
Yeah. Would you think we would
Because Van
give
der
a
Merwe.
shit then if their
No.
home tree got blew up?
No.
It's because they've created these
Humanoids.
with the big Disney eyes, with big full lips. They've got like a
No one cared
cat
about the prawns.
nose and some pointy ears. Yeah, that's what I mean. If the aliens looked,
What if they look like the earthworm from Tremors?
exactly, that's what I
No
mean.
one would care.
You wouldn't give a stuff then if they got blown up.
No.
Well,
Well, just while it's funny that as we're going to head into quotes here. So there's a really good quote that Jake Sully says, and this is how it's done. When people are sitting on the shit you want, you make them the enemy, and then you're justified in taking it.
yeah, that's
So
pretty
that's
good. Yeah,
I thought that was a really good quote, a really
Yeah,
poignant.
it is.
Because you saying that is, would we care if they look like the prawns from District 9 and Vickers van der Merwe? And no, we wouldn't.
yeah.
But Neytiri, I want to get my freak on.
Yeah.
I'm up.
Big tall blue,
Yeah, I'm in.
blue chick,
I want a tall bird. I'd love a tall bird. I don't know about 10 feet
10
tall.
footer. Yeah,
But, I'd give it a crack.
yeah.
What do you reckon, Gow?
Why not?
They're
You
all
go for it
very.
if you
They've all
do
got
that.
pretty much the same. There's no fat Na'vi.
No,
There's no little short, stumpy, porky ones.
No, there's no Boss Nass.
or there's no porkins.
No. I wouldn't have made it. Maybe they just kill the fat. Maybe that's what they eat. They just go back to the land.
Wait, well, you was running around that forest at the start. There's animals everywhere. Like they're running and jumping all the whole
Mate,
time.
there's an abundance.
Parkouring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're parkouring the whole way.
The fat ones just get eaten.
They must.
They just put them at the back of the troop. Eat chubby. I'd be fucked. I'd last 5 minutes on Pandora. I'd want to have a good avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone got anything for quotes?
I liked Giovanni Ribisi.
Of course you
just
did.
when you throw a stick in the air around here, it falls on some sacred fern. Like when they say, "Oh, you can't touch this, you can't do this." He's just like getting their shit. It's like, oh my god,
It's like the frogs.
it is.
You can't cut this bush because
that's right.
there's a tree frog.
Exactly. Yeah. And just when he showed that picture of that X-ray of all the unobtainium
Yeah,
underneath
there's
the
a lot
home
of it.
trees, like, oh, look at all that
You know
cheddar.
what it looked like? You know what it looked like? It looked like the
Cheddar.
aliens. Aliens when they're
Oh,
underneath.
yeah.
All
Right.
the, all the
Yeah.
all the people are underneath the reactor.
What's this? A goddamn
Yeah.
town meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So, but just when he just said that, just look at all that cheddar.
Yeah.
But he's the epitome of greed in the movie, right?
He
He's
was
like,
great.
It's all about
But
it's
he
all about the
also-
money. It's just the money.
He
Let's get 'em out.
also sort of changed a little bit. Like he gave him a little bit of time to negotiate. He wasn't as
an hour.
Yeah, he wasn't as
No, but it
hardcore
was-
as Quaritch.
No,
Yeah.
but
Quaritch was just a marine or an army guy. He just wanted to blow stuff up.
he was a maniac.
Yeah, just a maniac.
Yeah, he was a monomaniac.
Yeah.
Just one thing, whatever gets him away, doesn't matter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was full on. I've got a couple. this one is quite funny, and I thought it personifies the human race. So Neytiri says to Jake, "I'm with you now, Jake. We are mated for life." And then Jake says to himself, "What the hell are you doing, Jake?" I'm like, just controlled by his dick.
He did, didn't he?
Just controlled by his dick. It does not change.
He did not realise that
10 foot tall in blue,
shit,
10 foot tall in blue, doesn't matter. I'll take it where I can get it.
Yep.
Yeah. Whatever the problem it causes, I don't care. I'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was into it.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
My one was, I had one that was when Jake's talking to Moet at the start. He's like, "My cup is empty. Trust me. Just ask Dr. Augustine. I'm no scientist." "Then what are you?" "I was a Marine, a warrior of the Jarhead clan."
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was good. The other one that I think is quite good. It actually works right into Jake Sully's acting skills. Is when Neytiri says when they climb up and she's explaining to him what's going on. "Now you choose your Ikran. This you must feel inside. If he also chooses you, move quick like I showed. You will have one chance, Jake." And he's like, "How will I know if he chooses me?" And Neytiri says, "He will try to kill you." And he goes, "Outstanding."
Yeah, that's the other one I had. Outstanding.
Outstanding.
But yeah, and you know how the Ikran chooses you by it will try to kill you.
Yes.
And I've been reading too that so when Taruk tried to kill
Taruk Makto.
Yeah, so Taruk tried to kill Jake, he chose him then.
Right.
Because he came for Jake, not
Yeah.
for Neytiri.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like that was forecasting what was going to happen.
It's quite amazing that the chosen one for the Na'vi is an engineered human being.
Yeah, an absolute ring-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Mary Sue kind of thing, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And he's, yeah.
Absolutely. Anyone got anything else for quotes?
No, that's it.
Oh, I tell you what, we've hit the time of the show that no one likes, and it could be even worse today. Film school for F-wits. We are flying without a net tonight because our man on the land is not going to be able to do it. So I'm going to take the charge, and we're going to do 3D movies, 3 great 3D movies and 3 absolutely terrible 3D movies. And look, surprisingly, I was doing a bit of research on this, and I'm not going to be like Morgs and write a whole script, and this isn't going to go for 9 minutes, but 3D was actually developed in the 1800s, right? And so it's been around for a long time in many different iterations, but it really wasn't until the 1950s where it really had a boom, and that was through those schlocky horror movies like House of Wax and The Creature from the Black Lagoon. So, funnily, my dad used to tell me quite often that The Creature from the Black Lagoon was the scariest movie he had ever seen as a kid. He hid behind the seat when it came out. So, it was one of the pioneers of 3D film. And I don't know if you guys remember in the 80s when you used to have 3D nights at home, and then you'd have to get your blue and red the cardboard glasses, right? And
Yeah, you got them from Pizza Hut.
yeah, from Pizza Hut. That's right.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yes.
they had the specials on, and you
Absolutely.
had to watch them.
Absolutely.
Those on.
So
The plastic or the cardboard ones.
yes,
the plastic.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember when we had the video shop, and when 3D started to come out, you used to have them behind the counter.
That's right.
And people could take 3D glasses with them. So, but it wasn't really until the 80s when it really started to take off, and the movies were terrible, right? And so we're going to start with the 3 bad ones. And do you guys got any idea of 3D movies that you've seen that you might think are bad?
I think the last 3D movie I saw was Jaws 3.
Okay, so that's my first one, Jaws 3D. Shocking, right? Really, really bad. Set in SeaWorld in Florida. They've captured the shark.
That's right.
It's so just abysmal. The 3D in it is shocking. Like, if you watch it now, it's actually worth going back and revisiting it. I actually watched it not that long ago with Isabel because she's watched the first 2 Jawses.
God.
She wanted to watch Jaws 3, and I was like, oh, darling, you don't really need to watch this. But I figure if I watch Jaws 3 with her, then we might not have to watch Jaws the Revenge, which is shocking. Jaws 3D is so bad. It's that whole thing with the shark coming through the glass, and it's so done so slow, and it's just awful. So that's my number one for bad 3D movies. But around the same time, I think it was 86, it was a bit earlier than that, 83, Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, right? Again, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, cut sick 3D style, shoots a guy through the eye with a harpoon. He's in the water and shoots him through the eye with like a spear gun. Puts a fucking rake through someone's skull, all in 3D. There's a girl who's pointing and the fingers apparently in your face. And because now no one does that anymore, there's no 3D anymore, when you watch it, and I actually went and revisited all the Friday the 13th about a year ago.
Yeah.
And when I got to in 3D, I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. Like they're sticking a...
Just for 3D sake.
Yeah, it's just all 3D sake. And when we talk about 3D sake, I talk about a modern one, which is the remake of Piranha in 3D. Now, there's a famous scene in Piranha 3D where the piranhas attack and there's a floating penis in the water, which comes out of you into your face, which, you know, it's not my cup of tea having a cock and balls coming at me in the face. That was in the late 90s. I would have been all over that, but now there'll be none of that, thank you. So those three are shocking, how they've just missed the mark completely. And what actually happened is because of Avatar, 3D really kicked off, but what was happening a lot of time was that it was 2D movies that were being converted to 3D. So they weren't actually filmed in 3D. Avatar was actually filmed in 3D, right? And there were a few movies like that. So Gravity. I saw Gravity in the cinemas in 2013 in 3D, one of the greatest cinemas experiences ever. It's the same thing with Avatar. You're immersed, you're in space. It felt like the stars were all around you. When the ship explodes, it was quite amazing. There was stuff flying at you when she's trying to grab the rope. It's really well done. 3D done well there. Obviously, Avatar, it's probably the best Avatar without a doubt.
Definitely.
But another one that was also in 2009 that I saw in 3D, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Oh, so God. Animated film went berserk with 3D. So there was How to Train Your Dragon, there was Up, all these movies that were coming out in about a 3 or 4 year bracket were all 3D. And it was much easier to convert them when they're animated rather than with, you know.
Yeah, there was a whole heap of them, wasn't there? Bang, bang, bang. They all did it.
Every movie, like Toy Story 3's in 3D. They were all in 3D. And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball was really cool because there was a lot of food flying around, a lot of stuff falling from the sky. So it actually felt like you were right in it. So look, this is the shortest film school for F-wits of all time. And this is how
best by far.
And this is how it should be, Dan. We don't need to try and pretend that we're something we're not. If you want to revisit those 3D movies from the 80s, be my guest. Check out Jaws 3D. It's worth a look just to see how bad it is. But if you want something good, get to the cinemas and see Avatar in 3D. It's really worth it. It's done well. There's not many 3Ds movies at all anymore, and I think that The Way of Water will be 3D again, and get your asses to the cinema to see it. Because there's something special about a good 3D movie.
Well, that's been the problem there. They're few and far between a good one. But
people get, I guess, dismayed by it.
I got over. In the end, it's like I'm not going to go see a 3D anymore.
Exactly,
because it was an extra $1 or something, and it's like stuff that.
Well, you got to buy that. You got to buy the bloody glasses.
But 100% Avatar is 3D. It's so much better.
Yeah, no, it's quality, really well done. So anyway, that's Film School for F-wits for this week.
What about Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Oh, yeah.
That's 4D.
That's 4D.
Yeah, that was 4D. What used to happen is someone farted in the case. So you actually got the stench of how bad the movie was when you opened it up. Well, that's what happened to Colorado Video Shop anyway. Not so much at Avalon. All right, it's time for the Stan Bush Kick-Ass credit song.
Can't wait. Let's go. Bring it.
Yeah, and I am on the podium tonight.
What genre do we have tonight?
It's rock. It's just rock.
It's just standard rock.
It's just standard rock. I've moved away from the power ballad, but that will be back.
Is this to the tune of anything?
No, it's an original.
It's an original.
Pumped. I'm pumped.
Let's go.
So this is called Blue and Satisfied.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Jake Sully is my name from the Jarhead clan. Accept me as your equal is my master plan. I'm working for the baddies, but I'm turning good. Blue Poontang got me hooked like I knew it would. I ride the Ikran and I shoot a bow. I'll tell the colonel what he needs to know. They blow up home tree, a lot have died. Now I'm tied up and ostracized. Excuse me, that's my tale. When I'm human, I'm pretty frail. Put me in a box and bend my mind. Soon I'll be blue and satisfied. I've got an open Pandora's box. The Navi don't wear any socks. I'm 10 foot tall with a tail to match. I'm gonna mate with the princess and make my own batch. That's right, I'm blue and satisfied.
Woo!
That was
wow,
unreal.
my God.
That is your best.
Make your batch. Oh, you know,
my own bats.
that is brilliant.
And you're going to see them in Way of the Water.
They don't wear socks?
They won't be wearing socks in the Way of
wear
Water.
socks. Well, I really
Mate.
wanted to get open Pandora's box in, and the only thing I'd get to rhyme was socks.
Well, rocks maybe or something. But
No.
well, if
Is it true? Is it a true fact?
it's 100% correct.
They don't wear any
They
socks.
don't wear socks.
They
It's
don't.
a fair,
You're right.
It's a fair
You're right.
call.
Yeah.
I stick to the facts. I stick to the facts.
Well done. That
is a very
that was
good
a
live
cracking
version too.
song.
Yeah, there we go. So that was I took the Morg's train of thought there and took as
One
least
and one.
took at least amount of time as I could. So it was just
One verse, one chorus.
I
Kind of
Just dumped it out as quick as you could.
just really just
told the
my
story.
go-to. It's
Told the story.
I did the Friday night. I did the Friday night on it. Just dumped it out as quick as I could. Okay, let's come down off that high and let's talk about the star of the show. I'll start with you, guest, old Damo.
Star of the show was Pandora.
Okay, yeah, good
The
one.
flora, fauna.
Yep.
The people.
Yeah.
The Navi. Just that planet.
Yep, absolutely. What about you, Gal?
Yeah, I'll go with that. Same with the planet, but just the overall, the CGI, the whole thing, it is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
I suppose we too got to be a little bit technical. It's not really a planet; it's a moon, isn't
It's
it?
a moon.
Yeah.
It's a moon
But
on
yeah,
Pandora.
so yeah, Pandora. Yep.
I'm going James Cameron. So essentially, I could probably sling in with you, but I think he deserves some credo for there. Okay, final thoughts. Avatar. It was the movie that started a revolution, a 3D revolution. And I tell you what, after going and seeing it again at the movies, do yourself a favour and get there and see it. Took 20 years to make this movie, and you can see in the end product exactly why it took so long. The fact that he had to wait for technology to catch up with him, that's something special. Cameron directed, wrote, and produced. He also co-edited this movie. We talked last week about Stanley Kubrick, or the week before, about him directing and producing. This guy did everything. All right, so this is a marvel of modern filmmaking. There's no doubt. Do yourself a favour. It'll be out for another few weeks. Go and see it. Take your kids. They'll love it.
And what are we rating this? What are we using?
Well, we're going to throw it over to the guest. Let Damo let us know how
Pronunciation
we're
expert.
Yeah, because he's a black belt in Navi.
Yep.
He's related to Dr. Robert Frommer, I believe.
Yeah. It's scounds.
Okay.
Well, as Jake
Okay.
Sully says, scound,
Scound.
but it's scounds.
Okay. All right. So
With a click.
we'll start with the guest. How many scounds are you rating Avatar?
There's two sort of versions of this movie. There's the cinema version with the 3D or the IMAX, and then there's the 2D version. Both of them, I enjoyed one immensely more than the other one.
Yes.
It does take a lot from other movies, just like, I mean, I'm not saying it's like Jumanji and Zathura, but it's a very Dances Wolvesy sort of
Definitely.
thing for me. But if I combined like the visual experience version and then the 2D version, I'd somewhere in between, I'd give it a 4. Actually, I love the movie. I think it's a great movie. I'll give it a 4.
Okay. Well played. Gal, what about you?
I think it's a great movie from that perspective. I think, as we talked about, the storyline is the storyline. I'm giving it 3.25.
Okay. I like that. I'm doing something new tonight.
Oh, you're using the laptop.
Yeah, I'm using the laptop.
It's going to be better. It's going to be than the phone calculator.
Trust me. I'll still fuck it up.
It wasn't. So you're saying it wasn't your phone that was doing that?
No, it's me. Look, anyone that has listened to us for this will be the 20th episode. No, this is where I don't shine, right? Which is not like the rest of the podcast. Look, I agree with Damo to a point. I think the cinema experience is next level. It does lose something watching it in the lounge room. I'm going to give this one a 3.75 for me. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over here.
What did you give it, Damo? 4.
And I'm going to go.
Oh, come on!
That'd be a total of
You've got to be able to get this.
No, 6.
3.67 is what it is.
Okay.
You don't agree?
Hang on, have you got the formula in that?
Is it 3.25 and 3.75?
Yep.
Yeah.
4.
So there's a 3.5 average.
Yep.
Right, and then you've got a 4.
Yeah.
That would make it a 3.75 average. No, it would make it 3.67.
3.67. Yep.
Yeah.
But have you got the formula set up in there, though? If you click on that, or did you have to click something? It doesn't just automatically come up?
Well, it could have.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you've got the average. Oh, yeah, no, you've done it.
I've done it. It's all good. 3.67.
Excel
Gal doesn't trust me.
Excel specialist.
So how do you spell
SKX.
SK
X Let me just double check.
This is good podcasting.
AW
AW
NGS.
Scowns. All right.
Scowns.
Okay, so Gow, where does that put Avatar in the pantheon of Born to Watch movies?
It puts Avatar at number 11, right below Commando at 3.94 elaborate European flat tops, and just above Major League at 3.58 piston contracts. So 11th spot out of our...
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle out of our, what, 19 or 20th?
20.
20.
So it's the dividing range.
Yeah.
Where's our 20th?
Oh, no, we did 2 Mavericks.
Oh, Mavericks.
So we
Mavericks
did
won.
Maverick.
Oh, gotcha.
Maverick was
Right.
episode 1 and 16. So there's 2 Mavericks. So there's 20. You'll see.
We didn't separate. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So 11th. Pretty good. I think it's in the right spot, to be honest. 3.67.
Yeah, that sits about right.
Yeah. So that's almost, that's 7.5 almost, which is not far off what IMDb says, and just a little below the myth that is the Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Mm-hmm.
So well done. I'm sure Morgs would have killed that rating anyway.
What do you reckon Morgs would have given it? 2?
He wouldn't have watched it.
He would have seen it though.
I'm
not sure. He wasn't actually that keen to do the podcast on it. So
no, I think he probably did. I think he probably has seen it, but he's seen it once.
Yeah.
He's done a demo. How many times have you seen this movie?
Probably 4.
This is a big one.
5?
Big one for you.
Yeah. Well, maybe 4.
Okay. Yeah.
How about you?
I reckon 15 times.
Gow?
Twice.
Yeah, well, there we go.
I think I watched it once about 5 years ago, and then I watched it last night.
But I would be keen to see it in 3D again.
Yeah, it's
because
worth
it was so good 3D.
It's definitely worth seeing.
It's
in 3D.
just like a brilliant movie.
Okay.
Okay, so what are we watching? Yeah.
I haven't been watching anything this week. I'm still watching Better Call Saul, but I haven't really put much time into TV this week, so haven't had much on.
Yep.
Planning to change that this week.
Sinking too much piss. Damo, what about you?
I continue to watch Rings of Power.
Oh, and I have stopped.
It's honestly, I only watch it now just to see how bad it is, and it keeps exceeding my expectations. It is dreadful. The writing is just so bad. The fight choreography is just like a bunch of kids with pool noodles having a sword fight.
So what is Rings of Power?
Lord of the Rings.
It's the Lord of the Rings.
It's Lord of the Rings. Oh, you've talked about that before, yes.
But it's the Lord of the Rings prequel.
But it shouldn't even be Lord of the Rings because there's nothing related to Lord of the Rings, like lore. It's kind of just made up fan fiction stuff. It's just so bad.
It's like when they did those Star Wars ones when they were just...
This is terrible.
Random, just connected to it by the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And just changing characters and making them just terrible.
Okay, so I have been watching Dahmer on Netflix.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
The monster.
Who is Jeffrey Dahmer?
The serial killer.
Is that who he was?
Yeah.
Is he in a song?
I don't think so.
No, I just...
So Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer in the 90s. I think he was arrested in 91. And he killed 15 people and ate them.
What?
Yeah.
He was a cannibal. He used to kill...
he was the Milwaukee cannibal.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, right.
So
or
he
the
used to
Milwaukee
kill,
monster.
He
they
used to
call him.
kill... he was gay. He used to kill gay, predominantly black men. And he used to eat them. And it is... Can't turn away crippling TV. It is so...
Is it graphic?
No, it's not graphic.
Oh, right.
But just the mood, the tone, you know what's going on. It is incredible, but geez, it's dark. It is so dark.
I think some of the content, though, that they're talking about would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Not so much as graphic, but just the content that's about.
Yeah, they don't show him really kill anyone, but they sort of show the implements he uses, and it's so well done because it could go down a road of becoming too graphic, unwatchable.
Yeah.
This is just the mood of the show is intense. So I'm 7 episodes or 8. I mean, I'm on episode 8 of 10. It's the court case now. So yeah, it's full on.
It'd be. I'd find it probably a bit too disturbing. So I may.
Yeah, it's probably not for you. Knowing your taste, which is not human liver. But, yeah, it's full on. It's so creepy. It's actually the Evan Peters who was in, he was Quicksilver in the X-Men movies.
Oh, yeah.
And he was in WandaVision as
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, and he's amazing. He's doing a good job, which is quite disturbing. So anyway, we've had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you, Damo, for joining us in the Panic Room for your second guest appearance.
Thanks for the call up.
You've outdone yourself, as we expected. You put the work in. We like it when our guests
I
put
watched the
work in.
movie. Yeah,
There you
heck.
go. Yeah. Put the work in. It's hard. It's hard work, isn't it? That sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
No, thanks for coming in, Demo. It's been great.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
I enjoyed hearing about some of your travels. That was.
Yeah.
That
we could go on.
It may end up on. It may end up on the cutting room floor. It's yet to be determined. Next week we'll have Morgs back, and we'll be looking forward. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing what travel stories he has for us, and if he's lined up a buyer for his script or scripts, and two, whether he got the role in the Elvis musical, which is coming up. I mean, we'll all be very interested to see how the trip has gone.
Yeah, I want to hear what's happened with the Academy.
Yeah, well, he's got that. He does have that application.
Do you have to be nominated, or what?
It's an application process.
You apply, he's filled it out.
Yeah, he filled. It's on the back of a napkin. He's from the local pub, the Apollonian.
Yeah,
and he's just filled it out on the back of a paper menu and just sent it into the Academy.
Wow.
Apparently, that's an upgrade from some of the other, applications that they've gotten. But so next week we've got a big one. 84. I saw this movie 7 times in the cinemas. Yep. I used to go to my mum's work at the back of Brookvale there, get $4.50, go and buy a ticket at Hoyt's Twin. That was how I lived my life. That's when I had no
Solo
mates.
movies.
Yeah, I was a big solo movier. That's 84. I was 9. I learned early, got on the bus. I looked 20. I could have gone and seen an R-rated movie, but I decided I'd go and see Ghostbusters 7 times, and it was well worth it. I just gave the movie away.
Yeah, it's going to be a big week next week. Looking forward to doing Ghostbusters.
So Ghostbusters is it. Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd.
Who are you going to call?
The other one. What was the other one? Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson.
Yeah. Sigourney Weaver. Annie Potts.
Rick
Moranis. I could go on, but I won't because that's the major cast.
Yes,
Ivan
he has
Reitman.
no dick.
Ivan Wright. Yeah. That's the guy from Die Hard.
Yes.
Walter Peck is his name.
Oh, yeah,
from the EPA.
The EPA.
He's the reporter.
Yeah.
He's the reporter, yeah.
Yep. So anyway, next week we are taking on Ghostbusters. It's going to be fun, I think. It's not quite a 3-hour movie. And we should have a lot of fun with it. So thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Born to Watch. Follow us on all good podcast platforms and please share with your friends. That's the way the podcast grows and we can keep giving you some of this stuff that you love so much. We shall see you next week on the line. So from then, it's bye for me. Damo?
Yep. See you later.
See you later from Damo, Gow and team. It's good night.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Born to Watch. To join us on our journey into some of our favourite movies of all time, you can find us on all good podcast networks like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and share with your friends.